Alright, hello everybody. My name is Index. I'm going to be going over the faster method of Helmeroc skip. There aren't any real resources on it right now. There's that one video by Luke, that one video by me, and that's kind of it. Um, this is just going to be an explanation video because I don't feel like I can properly make a tutorial for this trick considering I don't have a set in stone method of doing it. And what I mean by that is I don't use a setup. Um, and that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason is I'm not sure I can still do it because it's been so long. But that's less important. Just a quick rundown of the trick. Actually, let's watch it first just to get that out of the way. This is the trick full speed. Um, it's just normal Helmeroc movement here, and then once we get to the top, it gets a bit different. So we jump over here, do a roll clip right there, and we crawl under this little wall thing, jump across, and go to the top, and that's it. So it's pretty fast. It's last time it was checked, it was like I don't know, 7 seconds or something. I don't really remember, but the advantages to doing it are it doesn't lose much time if you fail. If you fail, right at the top, so let's say you mess up this grab or the roll clip, you just jump down, you do normal Helmeroc skip. Don't go for, in any percent, don't bother going for this again because uh, the magic is important. And that's something to keep in mind when you're leafing in FF2. Actually, if you're going to go for this, when you're doing the leaf across for Phantom Ganon trigger skip in Forsaken Fortress 2, it's best to try to use only 3 ticks of magic. You can use 4, but I'd recommend trying your best to only use 3 here, because otherwise it's going to be really rough later on, because you need magic in any percent. And things line up better if you only use 1 tick here and you use 3 ticks in Forsaken Fortress 2. That's optimal situation. But that doesn't always work out, so it's fine. You can still go for it if you used 4 ticks, but just keep in mind that magic is something you need to worry about here. So that's part of the reason why people don't do it. The other part of the reason is just because it's hard. Let me talk a little bit about the trick now that I've told everybody how hard it is like 6 times. Alright, so you go up here. Let me put it in slow motion. Alright, so we reach the whatchamacallit, the little ledge thing, and then if you notice, I actually roll the stick here. The way you would notice is because Link doesn't immediately turn around and jump to grab the ledge. I do this rolling the stick as a sort of setup because I hug the wall when I'm leafing, and you can kind of see it. Yeah, like I don't just immediately jump. So I hug the wall, and then I pull myself a little bit away from the wall when I'm grabbing the ledge. One thing to look for is you want Link's left hand to barely be under the floor. I guess that's the floor. So yeah, that is an important thing to look for. If you're too, unlike most roll clips, if you're too close to the wall or too far away from the wall, it won't work. Normally with roll clips, it's just if you're too far away from the wall. With this one, if you're too close to the wall, it also won't work. If you think about it, there are actually 2 ledges here. There's the floor for the arena, and then there's the ledge that we're grabbing, the like darker gray ledge. And you can actually grab the floor from the arena when you're leafing over. The game usually realizes you're not supposed to be there because your feet are usually like in collision when that happens, and you usually just like fall or something. But that is a thing that can happen, and that's part of the reason why you want to be kind of far away from the wall. The other reason is it's the same reason, but for a different reason. There are 2 ledges there, so when you go to do the roll clip, if you're too close to the wall, you'll actually grab the other ledge, which is really weird, but it is a thing that happens. So staying a bit farther away from the wall helps with that. All right, so um, what have I talked about? I've talked about leafing. I've talked about grabbing. Um, just for reference, this is the hardest part of the trick. Grabbing the ledge right there is the hardest part of the trick. You might think, oh, the roll clip's gonna be the hardest part because it's frame perfect. No, no, the roll clip is easy compared to this. There was a runner, me and a runner were talking back and forth when this was first brought to the attention while I was in the community, and I guess I should mention this was originally discovered by legendoflinkk. But yeah, me and a runner were talking back and forth, and they said that they spent 2 hours trying to get this, but they hadn't even gotten to the roll clip yet. Like, they hadn't managed to grab the ledge. Like, that is how hard this is. Just because I don't want to say it, I'm not going to say who the runner was, but like, just keep that in mind. That is the hardest part of this trick. But yeah, so if you fail, you do normal Helmeroc skip. Afterwards, the roll clip. Let's talk about that. So I moved the camera behind Link just because it helps me a little bit. You don't have to do that. I would recommend it just because you also can't target because of Helmeroc being in the room. But I like to put the camera behind Link, and then the roll clip is unlike most roll clips. You don't roll straight left into the wall. With most roll clips, that is what you would do. You would roll straight left into the wall. With this roll clip, you actually roll up left. And I'm not going to pretend to know why. It's probably something with the collision. You can see how there's like two different, like there's multiple faces of the floor of the arena, and we're trying to roll into the one that is to the top left of Link, so maybe that's why. But for some reason, rolling into the one to the left of Link is much, much, much harder. I don't really know why, but it is absurdly precise to try to do that roll. And I just recommend trying to go to the top left one instead because it's easier and it is also faster because you're going more towards where you want to go in the end. So yeah, you can see I roll roughly up leftish. That is the direction that I would recommend trying to roll. It is just the direction that I've found the most useful. And then you roll over here, and you crawl. You have to crawl to get under this collision. And you jump. One important, not really important thing to note, but you can't start crawling unless your speed is 0. So you have to kind of have your speed die before you can start crawling. And then you can go. And also, it's not going to be faster to item slide there because it's only like 2 rolls, so it's definitely faster to be rolling there. So don't bother item sliding there. But item sliding afterwards is good. Yeah, that basically sums up the trick. Actually, did I mention this? I don't think I mentioned this. So when you first get there, here, let me put it in normal speed now. When you first get there, Helmeroc lands, and right when he lands, you can see his head kind of moves up and down for a second before settling in a final position. So like now it's in the final position, and this is like when he'd be staring at you when you've got the skull hammer and all that stuff. You need to make the jump before he does that, because his head has collision, and if you try to do the jump while his head is there, the head can hit you. It doesn't always hit you, but it can hit you and it can push you, which will just cause you to miss this entirely. And that's bad. So, doing that is pretty important. Jumping before he gets there. And if you're going to practice, just a bonus tip, if you're going to practice, then right about at those pots, at those pots in the top left of the screen right now, that's like the trigger for where Helmeroc comes down and lands there. So if you want to practice this, charge speed right above the trigger, move below the trigger so Helmeroc flies away, and then go back into the corner and try it again. Because you don't want Helmeroc to already be there when you're attempting this, because it just messes it up. Potential other method that I'll mention just for anyone who wants to try it. Potentially, right when you get in, instead of keeping your speed like this is obviously going to be faster, but you could start a backwards item slide into the corner in first person, so you still have the grapple in hand, and look for a sword slash, um, and try to do the jump that way. And you might be more accurate with that. Uh, you might not. It is just you can't press target because whenever you target, you're going to face Helmeroc. So this sword slash is going to be a targetless sword slash, and it's going to be pretty precise. But it will guarantee that you get the max height of your jump every time, which will guarantee that it's possible to grab the ledge, assuming that you are going in the correct direction. Um, but yeah, if you are going to do the sword slash, I'd recommend aiming roughly there at the wall. You don't want to aim here, like at the ledge, because it's just you're gonna be jumping while you're trying to grab the ledge. You might even be under the ledge if you do that, because you'll go as far as you can without hitting a wall, and you won't have started the jump yet, so you won't have gained any height. So it's better to aim at the wall here, because then you'll be mid jump while you're hitting something, and then you can pull leaf and grab the ledge. But yeah, if there is an alternative method, that's probably what it is. This is a very difficult trick. The only reason I started doing it was because I didn't want to learn ladder skip at the time, and I was seriously trying to go for world record, which I quickly gave up on. But that's the only reason I learned it. Again, if you fail in a run, cut your losses and go with the normal method. It's not worth trying to do it again because of the magic. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me. If someone else learns the trick, you can ask them. But I definitely recommend joining the HD Discord if you haven't already, and good luck. This is a hard trick, so good luck.